Broccoli, podcast for healthy mind. Welcome to the new season of Enligio Podcast, which now become Broccoli Podcast. So in this first episode, I will talk with my Camino friends, Katja, talking about Camino de Santiago, the most famous walking pilgrimage in Europe. And yeah, we'll share some insights that we got. I met Katja during my latest Camino in Portugal and Spain last December. So yeah, I think it will be a nice idea that we can share about our experience through this podcast and know more about Camino. But before that, maybe Katja, can you introduce a bit about yourself?
Yes, for sure. So thank you so much, Lee, for inviting me to this podcast. I'm so excited, and I'm so excited also to share, what we live together, our experiences. So yeah, my name is Katja. I'm originally from Germany, but now I'm sitting in South Africa. And thanks to technology, we are able to record this lovely podcast.
Yeah, thanks to technology. So let's get started. How did you know about Camino?
Actually, very good question because like the Camino was always on my bucket list, like on my to-do list. But I've never had the time actually to walk the Camino. And as you might know, probably the Camino is very well known in Europe
Mm-hmm.
and it's probably like one of the most famous pilgrim routes in Europe. And then in December last year, I got the chance to have free time. And I was like, okay, now you can go for it. And it was like a decision within, I think, 24 hours. I packed all my stuff. I called a lot of friends. Oh, do you have a backpack for me? Can you rent me a sleeping bag? And once my luggage was done, I was like, okay, here we go. Now I can book my flight tickets. And then I flew to Porto, to Portugal. And only 1 week later, I started directly just in front of the cathedral in Portugal, like in Porto, the Camino experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you and I did it in I can say like the quiet season of Camino, which is
Yeah.
December, and it's quiet because it's rainy season, as we experience. It's raining a lot during month of
Mhm.
December, and that's also maybe the reason that you stay alone in albergue before, yeah. But yeah. And yeah, for listener like who never heard about Camino, Camino it's a Spanish word for the way, isn't it?
Mhm. Yeah,
The way,
yeah.
yeah. And the full name means Camino de Santiago, which mean in English is Saint James Way. So it's an ancient pilgrimage to the, how to say, to the place when Saint James was buried, like the corpse
Mhm.
of one of the disciple of Jesus. But nowadays, as you said, as you mentioned before, it's not only about the religious aspect. It's about like many different things outside of the religious purpose. Yeah, many people doing Camino for health purpose, for the like stay away from the distraction, like
Mhm.
personal retreat, and also challenging themselves for something physical, because Camino is not only about spiritual but also physical task,
Yes.
isn't it? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like also like mentally. So yes, obviously you need your body, you need your feet to walk, but actually for me, like in the end of this very beautiful and lovely journey was like the mental. I think
Mm-hmm.
the mental purpose, this was like probably the most important reason why I did the Camino.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And as I remember, you also a marathon runner, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
How, how
passion.
Profession. Yeah. How do you integrate your marathon runner mentality into Camino? What's the difference maybe?
Yeah, this is a quite interesting question because like I'm like physically I'm very
Mm-hmm.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and actually what I discover always by running marathon, it's like probably like from the kilometer 30, it's like your mind that brings you actually to the goal. It's not your body, because at a certain time, you run or you walk even on the Camino, like kind of like, let me say, automatically.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, what brings you in the end of the day to your goal or to the albergue, even if it's like a very heavy, rainy, cold day, it's the mind, it's the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Because okay, like for example, let's come back to the marathon. At kilometer 30, okay, there are still 12 kilometers to go.
You go, yeah.
Actually, I don't see these 12 kilometers in entire, but step by step. So I count like 31, 32, 33, and every more kilometer brings you like finally to the goal.
Mm-hmm.
And this is very important for your mindset because that makes you kind of like stronger.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like maybe you can compare it if you go to the gym and you do weightlifting. With
Mm-hmm.
every weight that you lift more, you're getting more and more stronger. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's like the same would happen to your mind then. And when it comes to the Camino, it was like not the 42 kilometers my goal, but to reach the albergue.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the albergue, I know there's hot water, a hot shower is waiting for me, good people like you, for example, a nice bed, a cozy atmosphere. So all these lovely things actually brought me in the end of the day to the goal, to the albergue. And this is like something that you have always to keep in mind that physically it's
Mm-hmm.
easy. You
Mm-hmm.
walk because otherwise, I mean, like you can't sleep in the forest. No, you have to go somewhere for the night.
Mm-hmm.
And if you visualize yourself, okay, what you will get there at the goal, I think that makes you very strong and that keeps you going.
What I like from Camino is every few kilometers we can find a place to sit down to
Yeah.
get rest. Even it's in the forest, but still like they they have a place. I mean, it has place to get rest. And we mentioned about albergue a lot, but maybe many people do not know yet. Albergue is like hostel for pilgrims.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's maybe it means in Spanish word it means hostel, like
So yeah, yeah,
host
yeah,
pilgrims. Yeah. When we take a break, yeah, what I like from Camino is there's no certain rules. You can take
yeah.
break as much as you want. So
Mm,
it's not like marathon when you must keep running until the end. But Camino allows us to break whenever we want to take a race. And even if we want to stop for one day, it's possible as well, yeah. Like for example, we really tired for this day and okay, maybe we'll start again tomorrow. It's possible with the Camino. There's no exact rule like how we must do the Camino. Yeah. And yeah, back to the back
but
to the
this is quite
huh?
interesting what you're saying. And also, I think this is like probably of the most important messages that we can give that the Camino is very individual.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually what I like the most about it, that you can walk what like like it's you are like, let me say, the leader of your own Camino because it's your experience. And what I discovered also, like for example with you, is like everything is accepted. So that means like because I knew, for example, that you also need your time and I
Mhm,
needed my time.
mhm,
And this is like what I really liked about it, that people, that they just accept if you want to go alone, if you want to stay alone, if you want to go somewhere else. Like just you have to communicate and then everything is fine because like you're gonna find each other in the forest, in the albergue or somewhere else. So this was like something that I enjoyed a lot, that I could be myself
mhm,
and I could also like be the guide of my own Camino.
mhm. Yeah, that's the lesson, like the lesson that I forgot when I travel with my travel buddy. Like everyone
Mm,
needs the time to be alone, and on that moment, I forgot this lesson. Uh, like even we travel together, there's a moment when we want to walk alone, and
yeah.
yeah, maybe that's the issue that I got last time when I travel with my travel buddy. And
Mm,
yeah, we have. I mean, beside you, there's also Elena from Italy, our like travel like pilgrims mate. Yeah, yeah. I remember Elena many times also clearly say to us like she want to walk by herself,
yeah.
and she want to pray during the walk, and
Mm,
yeah, we appreciate that, and yeah, I also sometimes did that when I walk alone. I also like to pray,
yeah.
especially yeah, remembering like my intention for last Camino is to pray for my mom who passed away the previous year.
Yeah.
So yeah, beside togetherness, it's also good to be to do the aloneness, like to be to be with myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's the beauty of Camino, and we will never get lost because the sign will be the same, isn't it? Yeah, like uh, what beautiful from Camino is, especially in Camino Frances, Camino Portuguese, they have the very clear sign like the arrow,
Mm,
the yellow
yeah.
arrow and the scallop shell. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the symbol that will make every pilgrims we go into the same direction.
Yeah.
Mm. And yeah, back to like your Camino preparation, like before you decide to go, like you mentioned you looking for the backpack, uh,
Yeah.
and how about spiritual preparation, like mental preparation, because I think this is your first time, isn't it?
Yeah. It was my first time.
Uh-huh. How you prepare it mentally?
Um, Actually, I think I had quite a short preparation time.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, I decided shortly to do this Camino. So, and I knew someone with I worked with in the past, and she did already the Camino. So I phoned her, and she gave me really useful tips like don't pack too much, take your sleeping bag with you, and also she gave me this let me say security that the like that it's yeah infrastructure of the Camino is quite good. So that means that you can always find an accommodation. You can always find these yellow arrows, or you would know like everywhere where to go. And actually, I was more busy with my, let me say, material preparation than with my mental preparation because I'm a person. I don't think too much before doing things, but
Mhm.
while I am doing things, I think about.
Mhm.
I don't know if it makes sense, but I wanted to live this experience like with a free mind, with a free mindset. I mean, like you can go online, you can go on social media to get informed about the Camino,
Mhm.
but these opinions are from different people, and I wanted to live my own experience.
Mhm.
So actually, as I'm fit, I think I'm a very fit person. I didn't really need this mental preparation. But I think like for people who want to go this Camino, what you have to keep in mind, it's like you're gonna spend a lot of time with yourself, with your thoughts,
Mhm.
with your mindset. So you have just to be aware of yeah, like how can it be feel like if you just walk with yourself, with your personality, with your thoughts through a Spanish or Portuguese forest.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I'm and Lee, you are also, we know ourselves, I think, very good because we spend also a lot of time with ourselves. But that
Mhm.
doesn't mean that we are alone. We
Mhm.
just appreciate, I think, the time that we spend with ourselves. And people that can't spend so much time alone, probably they need yeah, let's say a better mental preparation for
Mhm.
this.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds like a walking meditation, when
Yeah,
we
yeah,
we
yeah, that's a
walk
good.
and we talk with ourselves.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and
Um,
and and even
mm,
though there's like nothing wrong about it to talk to ourselves, because
mm,
most of the people they think, "Whoa, this one is crazy because she speaks to herself." No, it's like for me, it frees my mind because I
mm,
can, yeah, I speak my thoughts. So my thoughts they go out of my mind. So, and this is like also like something that I discovered. It's like kind of like to push a reset button for
mm,
my mental health.
mm. Wow, that's good analogy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it somehow it reminds me of my friend who asking me about Camino,
Mhm.
because my friend know like I'm still like kinda religious person. Like when he think about the pilgrimage, he thinks like every few kilometers I need to go to church, pray, and do some kind of
Mhm.
rituals. But Camino is not like that. Yeah, it's really flexible. You can do it religiously. You can do it without religious purpose.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, And yeah, so the route, I mean, Camino has many different routes, but the most famous one is from Camino Frances, which is from the border of France and Spain, isn't it? Saint Jean Pierre de Port. That's the
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's the most famous one. But the route that we take is from Porto, yeah, from Porto
Yeah.
to Santiago, which is like maybe uh, one third of the full Camino Frances. Camino
Yeah.
Frances is 680 kilometers. Some
Yeah.
yeah, that,
Something. Yeah.
that Camino Portuguese is only, I mean, from Porto to Santiago is only around 240, probably
Yeah.
230.
Probably. Yeah. They call it
Mm-hmm.
the coastal Portuguese way
Mm-hmm.
because you
Coastal.
start in Porto and then the first days you just go along the Portuguese coastal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. And maybe like I remember like one tip when we did Camino during the low season, the quiet season, is to make sure the albergue is open.
Yeah.
Because I use the app Camino Ninja. it says this albergue is open, but in reality, no one's there. It's open, but no one's there somehow. So
But but what I've heard, it's like normally the public albergue, they are always open.
the public one, yeah,
Public ones, even on Christmas and even on New Eve.
New Year's Eve, yeah,
Yeah. But you are right. Just make sure that they are open on that day. Where are you go? When are you going?
yeah. And in the
Yeah.
quiet season, it's okay to not to book in advance.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
But
Yeah,
but
yeah,
in the peak season, like from April to July or August, I mean from
yeah.
spring to summer, I think we need to book in advance because it's like crowded season, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if you can book them in advance. You
Uh-huh.
can just give them a phone call. But
Uh-huh.
anyway, from the moment on when the albergue is full, it's full. So, but
Oh,
anyway, they are also private ones.
yeah, yeah. So the private one is a bit more expensive, but more giving you option. But public
Yeah,
one, I think, yeah, you're right. Like for public albergue, you cannot book.
you
They
can't.
Yeah, they serve you like first come first serve. Yeah,
Yeah, true.
until it's full.
Yeah,
Hmm. Public
but
or
this
hmm?
was actually like something where I was like kind of afraid of. I was like, I mean, like I'm used to sleep in hostels, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, public hostels on the Camino. I was very curious how they will be. But anyway, I was really, really surprised how clean they are, how well equipped they are. They were like, even during winter time, there's always a heater, there was warm water. So if you have the chance, yeah, just go to the public ones because they are very, very good.
Mm, yeah, that's the real experience. Yeah, with
Yeah,
many people, many pilgrims.
yeah.
Mm. Oh, I remember that one of the habit you did during the Camino is journaling at the before sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Any tips like how to do journaling after you did the Camino during the day, and then like how do you make the time for journaling, and
Yeah,
how do you feel about after that?
yeah. So actually, I brought a little book with me because also like doing the Camino, I tried to do digital detox. So
Mm-hmm.
that means I put my phone in the morning on flight mode. And because I really wanted to be with myself and to not be disturbed by any social media, WhatsApp messages, or like, yeah, just digital stuff. And even though in the evening I was so, so tired, but I was like, no, I have to write down my thoughts, just like my day, how it was, because otherwise you live or you experience so much during the Camino that I really wanted to make sure that by writing that I won't forget anything. And yeah, as you mentioned before going to bed, I just took probably 5 or 15 minutes to do like kind of like a flashback to the day. So even if you are too tired, I was like, okay, I have just to write down something, even if it's like just words or emojis or whatever. In the end of the day, I wrote something down, just yeah, just to make sure that I won't forget every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And um, otherwise, if you are not a writing person, I know a friend, she did records on her phone. So there's like this recording option. So
Mm-hmm.
even if you are too tired, yeah, just take your phone, record
Record it.
what you have lived during the day. Probably that could be a good option beside journaling.
Yeah. That's a good option. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I feel myself like sometimes writing is taking so much effort, So making the audio notes is much more easier.
Yeah.
And I remember when I did Camino last December, I have like also a daily challenge from the Indonesian podcast community to
Yeah.
make daily episode of uh
Oh,
of everyday life during the month of December with one
okay.
keyword every day, one different keywords every day. So I use that keyword to reflect my Camino experience during the walk.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's in Indonesian, so it's in my podcast as well. So I journal it for public, but probably it's also for reminder for myself, like what I experienced through Camino. And whenever I want to experience it again, I can listen it. It's in
Mm,
Indonesian, so so all
yeah,
Indonesian listener can understand.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm,
true, true. Because it's such a special journey. At least you have to keep or to save some memories by writing, by recording, by taking pictures.
mhm,
Because so many things are happening during the day and during this journey, that you need something to keep these memories.
mhm. Yeah. Um, this might be the last discussion topic. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, what did you learn from this first ever Camino? Like, yeah,
What
anything.
I learned, yeah,
Mm,
it it's not my last one. It was just the first one of so many, hopefully. So, and even though in the end I was like very, very sad. I remember the last day, like the last way or the last walk, I was like really, no, I can't stop because I had this feeling, uh, like to go further, to walk further. And I remember the day after because actually I took the bus from Finisterre going back to Santiago de Compostela. And
uh-huh.
actually, in the morning when I took the bus, it was such a strange feeling to be
Uh.
like on a vehicle, to be like in a bus. I was like, no, I can't want to walk
Ah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah,
because
because uh-huh,
you get
we,
to use so quickly to like yeah, that you walk everywhere, that
mm,
I felt really sad when it was over.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah,
I felt very,
I think that's the lesson. Like, we live in the fast world, but we
yeah,
forgot to slow down sometimes.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so like actually like the first learning is it was my first one, and
Mm,
hopefully also the first one of so many other pilgrim journeys that will follow in the near future, hopefully.
mm,
And yeah, as I mentioned before, I think also like a very important learning for me, it's like it's yes, it's also like a physical challenge, but like what it um mm, like the mental or like mm, what I remember, it was like kind of really like a reset, a mental reset, and it felt so good.
yeah.
So I did like my friends, they asked me also after like how was it? I was like, you know what? It was actually the best therapy in the world that I've ever done. You know, people they pay a lot of like for coaches, for mental coaches, for
Mm,
workshop, for whatever. I
mhm,
just say to them, go this Camino and you will see this is like kind of like very the best therapy in the world.
mm, yeah. You did therapy, but you don't feel it's like therapy, yeah?
Yeah,
Therapy.
yeah, yeah. And it's for
Mhm.
free.
Yeah, that's the best way of healing. Like, it's natural. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just yeah.
Yeah, I remember I met one pilgrim, like, uh in this Camino. He struggled after I think broke up from relationship, so he decided to do Camino. And yeah, I and same like you, he liked to journaling every night. And I think he journaling a lot because we did some moment like journaling together. I feel like I already wrote a lot, but see, he's still writing, and it seems very long reflection.
Yeah.
So maybe that's also the blessing of Camino. Like you reflect more about what happened to your life than
Mm,
in the usual day.
yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
But and
And
also, I think like nobody judges you.
hmm
Obviously, you meet a lot of people during the Camino. And as I said before, you can be yourself. You can be like the person that you are. And even with you, we had such nice talks.
hmm
And I know I can trust you because you won't judge me, like why I'm doing this Camino, why I did things happening in my life.
hmm
So this is also like very important with the people that you meet on the Camino, that they don't judge you.
hmm yeah, that's true. It's uh yeah, most people do Camino with open minded, open, yeah. And yeah, no judgment. And also you remember I did this Camino while working. I bring my laptop all the time. So that's something I learned as well. Like, oh, so I can do Camino while working. It's possible.
That's true. That's true. And
Of
I
course,
can do this. So
depends
good.
depends on the job, of course. Like I
Yeah,
work
true.
in the IT sector, and my job sometimes. And also I feel that one kind of blessing during my Camino for around 9 days. Uh, Most of the days it's a quiet work for me, so
Mm,
I can do the full day Camino without being interrupted so much with my
yeah,
work. Uh, yeah, thankfully. But of course, it always not happen.
yeah.
Depends on the job, depends on your position. If you're, yeah, if you're manager, maybe it's different way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, hmm. And yeah, after Camino, I remember you planning to go to, yeah, like it's a bit outside of Camino, but maybe you can share
Yeah.
a little bit about something you did in South Africa, like you helping the community of township of South Africa to about like education or um yeah,
Um,
maybe you can tell the story. How did you find?
yeah. So, yeah, as you mentioned before, I've got a huge passion for South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And like, let me say, in my kind of like my hobby, I would say, my heart project is just to support this township community. The name is Community Kids Pot, and they are based in Philippi Marikana, which is like one of the poorest townships around Cape Town.
Mm-hmm.
So I support these guys with providing meals for the children, with providing clothes. And now I organized a benefit concert in November last year. And actually, with the money that I collected from this concert, we will build a new infrastructure there. So that means we will build a new building for the kindergarten, for the creche, because in winter, due to heavy rains, everything is underwater, so a lot of floods. And now we are busy with building a new kindergarten building there. And yeah, so this is like my, let me say, wicked job and my official job now. I just started this Monday, so it's 1 week that I'm working here at the Muteo College in Bloemfontein. Bloemfontein, it's like around like 1,000 kilometers from Cape Town inland,
Mm-hmm.
near Lesotho, near Johannesburg. and I'm in charge of an international partnership program that is run by the German government. So our main goal is to improve the education system, to provide better skills, to provide better, education to the people here, that they can get a better job after. It's a very challenging program, a very challenging project, but that's like where my passion is, and everything that has to do with passion, it's not work anymore, I would say. So fingers crossed that
Mm,
project will be a huge success. And
mm.
for sure, I will let you know.
Yeah, I would like to visit, and I'm a bit jealous because you already found that you really want to pursue. Like it's sometimes working on this kind of project is not about money. It's also about like what you're calling, isn't it? And yeah, that's something I saw like still pursuing until this day to find out like what I really want to do for the rest of my life. And
Yeah,
so the community called Community Kids Spot.
yeah,
I
yeah.
will put the website link in the description letter.
Yeah,
And yeah,
I will send it to you. I will send it to you. And
uh,
maybe this is like also something that I've learned from the Camino, because obviously things are very different here in South Africa.
mhm,
But I see it from the perspective step by step. And this is
mhm,
like also like how we did the Camino, step by step. Because with
mhm,
every step, you come a bit closer to your goal.
yeah.
This is like something, even though like things are very different, and I'm quite sure there will be also negative, bad moments, but then
Mhm,
I will say, okay, this is like part of the journey. This is
mhm,
part of the journey, because with every step that you go further, it can be only better.
mhm. Cool. Okay. Yeah.
Thanks.
Katja, thank you so much for sharing your Camino experience, the things that you did in South Africa. I think that's also the how to say the blessing of Camino. Like you see your path more clearly.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Mhm. This is Katja from Germany, living in South Africa. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.